not only is that the moon 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's 400 times nearer to the Earth than the sun. So when there's an eclipse, it completely covers the sun. And in caveman days or whatever, they
Yeah.
used to think this was some message from the gods because they couldn't work out that there was going to be something like that. And for suddenly the daytime to go completely dark,
Yeah.
they would have thought, what's happening? And you can imagine what their fear might have been. But what a coincidence, this 400 times bit, was that just chance that happened, or did it happen by design? And I guess there's no answer to that, but it's one of the incredible true stories, about the creation of the earth and the
Yeah.
moon and the
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is. It is amazing. I was just thinking about the when you're talking about how far away the sun is from the moon, and I'm thinking, well, I think what happened, the eclipse, there is a scientific explanation to that, and the
Yeah,
scientists
of
will
course.
tell
Yeah.
you, this happens when it goes round the moon, and without going into too much detail about whether there's a creator or not, which you said, like most of us do believe there's a creator, but it's just the laws of physics that is governing these um uh what's it called?
Events, really, these
Yeah,
events.
the events that transpire out there. It's enormous, isn't it? It's mind blowing for any
Mm.
human to be able to comprehend on with our small little minds, isn't it? It's um it's really it, what's that word? Astronomical. When you think of it,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
the word, isn't it?
yeah,
Astronomical.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is when you think of it, yeah. So, well, I guess we haven't found um, any signs of life yet on any of the planets.
No, that's true. We're looking for civilized life in the universe. I mean, we could be the only complex life in the universe. I mean, again, when we say the universe, I don't think we really think about or understand what we're saying because
Yeah,
um, our solar system, the sun and the planets, we're zooming through the universe, going around other galaxies and things at a tremendous speed, which we would never know that that's happening. In the same way, the Earth is spinning on its axis, and where we are down, we're not near the equator, but as you get nearer the equator,
yeah,
it's going at about 1,000 miles an hour, round and round on its own pivots. Now, again, I suppose the size of things is so big that we obviously don't feel it.
no,
Um, but these things are incredible because the universe is expanding by all accounts at an incredible speed, and to call it an infinite, endless entity universe is
yeah,
is is right. I don't think you could say it's something that is contained within something else because if you come eventually to a brick wall,
yeah,
what's on the other side of the brick wall? So it's mind blowing as to, but when you think how the scientists are able to so accurately predict, when a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse is going to happen, or when a comet, Halley's comet, which comes around, I think, every 75 years,
yeah,
how they know exactly when that's going to appear. So when you think the human mind, the human brain, is something else, something we don't begin to understand. Interestingly, I mentioned Halley's comet, and it is once every 75 years. Mark Twain, who is an American, you would have heard of him, an American writer.
yeah,
He's not alive now, but he was born on the day, the first day of Halley's comet coming. Now, it was, I think, in the 1800s. Can't remember the exact date. And he said he wrote some incredible things in his life, very clever bloke. But he always said, he would die when it next came. So, in other words, he was saying he would get to about 75 or 76. And it was absolutely right. He didn't kill himself, but he died on the next visitation to the Earth of Halley's Comet. So that was a bit
Wow.
weird as well. It's like he
Yeah.
had some inside knowledge of something like that. But yeah, the
Wow.
comets, all these things are predicted by incredibly clever scientists. And yeah, it's an amazing thing. I mean, and as you said, we can't really begin to comprehend the size of the universe, our
We can't.
size in relation to that. It's something that it's an incredible subject, really,
It
to
is.
listen to or to read about.
It is. I suppose that's why, well, I suppose, in my opinion, I suppose that's why the Flat Earth Society people, they've just given up and just, stick to their guns, they're saying.
I don't think they have given up, have they? They still
Well,
persist. They
well, this
do.
is what I'm saying. I mean, they've given it, well, I mean, they stuck in their ways now. They're saying, well, you know what? Regardless of whatever proof we're
Mm,
presented with, we're still holding to our original opinion
yeah,
about the Earth being flat. It's like we can't comprehend it. Neither can you. Well, to an extent. Anyway, so we're just gonna be who we are. You can be who you are. Um,
yeah, that's true. But the thing is, when they're shown photographs of
yeah.
the Earth from space, they say they're all fake. So really, if their minds are closed to that extent, you're never going to penetrate that. You're never going to get through. Um, but equally, I'm a great believer in keeping an open mind about things.
Right.
Equally, you could say in many ways, whether it's to do with the size or shape of the Earth or anything else, we could all be being fooled about a lot of things. I mean, you know, we think we know the rules, the laws of things, but maybe there are forces, either human forces or others, who are fooling us. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have said in the past, maybe we are all someone's computer game. Did you ever see a film called The Truman Show
Oh
with
yeah.
Jim Carrey?
With Jim
It's got a
Carrey.
few.
Yeah.
It was very good, and because he eventually he realised that he was part of a television show. He didn't know that from when because he was born on this show, and
Yeah.
it was the ultimate reality show, I suppose. But it was very cleverly done, and he gradually realised that when he grew up a bit, he went out in the morning, and the same people would be walking by and saying "hello there" and all this. And it's a frightening example of what could happen. It's the ultimate reality show. But yeah, we think we know what goes on, don't we? And probably we do in some respects, but there's a lot we don't really know. Probably for the best, I guess.
Right. I'm gonna tell you something really, really strange, and I could be losing my mind here, but I thought I would never tell anyone about it, but I want to say it. So I went to it was a religious, sort of like a religious gathering, about 800 people. This Sunday just gone, and I was stood somewhere. So I'm one of the attendants, that would help people to find a seat and sort of like help disabled people find the disabled area to sit, for easy access to go out and wheelchair and stuff like that. And I was stood there in the morning, and the program was supposed to start for 9:40, and I got there early because we had to open up the auditorium, to then let people in. So we had to do a sweep, basically, make sure it's safe for people to come in. And I stood there, um, just well, I just stood there at my post, and this lady walked in, and Trevor, I kid you not, I took one look at her, and she was going straight for the disabled seating area, and I thought, what's wrong with her? Why is she going to the disabled